a situation where Joe Morgan came out and wrote a letter to the committee begging them basically not to let anybody that participated in PEDs to get in. And he's a Hall of Famer.
Right.
So it looks kind of slim for him. They said now it's going to be another committee that's kind of like a veteran committee that they're going to let take over and determine in the next year or two if they're going to let them get in. But it's unfortunate because, you know, I mean, hey, I think he was taking something. It was a whole bunch of people taking something. And
it doesn't make you a more skilled. I'm not a proponent of it, but it doesn't make you a more skilled baseball player.
Yeah, it just kind of it helps you heal a little better,
Stronger.
Makes you stronger. One thing you got to understand, during the time when McGuire and Sosa had that home run battle that year, I mean, baseball viewership went up crazy.
A lot of money was
baseball was, you know, owners were making a whole lot of money. The fan base was going crazy, loving home runs, and prior to that, they were losing money because people weren't interested in games that were 2-1. You know, no hitters.
And you remember we used to sit in front of the TV. You know, back when Barry Bonds was at the tail end of his career and trying to, you know, break Hank Aaron's record, we used to sit there in front of TV. It was like an event. You just really wanted to see it. How many is he going to hit today?
Yeah. See, a guy like, one thing I can tell you, Ken Griffey Jr., when he came along, we loved Ken Griffey Jr. And he used to hit home runs too. But he wasn't hitting. You know, he was hitting some big numbers, but it wasn't to the amount when Barry Bonds came out there 1 year and had,
I think it was just 73.
73 home runs in 1 year. Nobody's ever come close to that. So Barry couldn't help himself. You know, if he got strong like that, and because he was a skilled baseball player, and he knew how to time, and he had a good eye for the ball, and had a beautiful swing, the ball's going to go out if he connects with it. That's just about it.
But basically,
so that's why he had so many that year, man.
He's a Hall of Famer. He's a Hall of Famer in my book too. You were pretty much saying, listen, man, put an asterisk next to the home run record and the home runs in that year. That way, you know, people are going to question that because of the PED being in the game of baseball. But trust me, the commissioner was aware. He lied prior to going to the Congress and admitting that he had an idea about it. He's in the Hall of Fame.
Come to find out, he was an owner as well as a commissioner, and they assigned a veteran committee to vote him in as a Hall of Fame commissioner. So, you know, they looked out for him, and he was overseeing this whole thing unfold. And I can remember those days. He looked guilty. I mean, he wasn't doing much about it early on because he wanted the revenue to be generated from, you know, the fan base and the viewership for them to make as much money as possible. That's my take on it.
And I'm sure they never gave that money back. But you know, hey, in our book, Barry Bonds is we view him as a Hall of Fame. And you know what? This could be a topic for another day. But I'm curious as to, you know, whether or not he even really wants to get that type of recognition from, you know, Major League Baseball at this particular point, because he's probably just so frustrated and feels so disrespected and hurt by it. You know,
well, I think the main thing is, man, they don't.
It might not feel the same. It might not give him that same feeling that they would give him that recognition.
I'm sure it's gonna be almost like Terrell
Owens, right?
Yeah, because Terrell didn't even attend the Hall of Fame.
Right, he went
ceremony.
to his alma mater and gave a speech.
Yeah, because you know they had blocked him for so long. But Barry Bonds, we know how great he is.